Who were signed to Sink and Stove, and we were drummerless when I joined. So, and there was another band who was signed to Sink and Stove label called You and the Atom Bomb, and they didn't live in Bristol at the time. So we drafted their drummer, Jan, in to come and help us out, and that's how I met Jan. And for years we played in two bands and gigged and what have you, and that was good fun. And then both our bands, the Playwright split up, and I started playing You and the Atom Bomb, and then actually You and the Atom Bomb split.
Yeah.
And then you started thinking.
I wanted to form a new band. And I'd seen Dan play with his old band, RV Cartel, and sort of pinned him down as a good bassist to get in contact with in the future. And then it took about 2 years, in fact, from the first sort of membership to us three kind of all getting together and sorting it out. Well, personally, what I'd like it to sound like is be like full of emotion, and I'd want to have melodies that people can latch onto, but to be behind that like a real powerful kind of rock kind of sound that isn't full of kind of those rock pretensions and stuff, that it's just powerful because like that's what's coming out, that's what you want to feel like, and not to be heavy, like, you know, we're a heavy band, but to be loud and to be in your face and to be about this kind of ethos of being a rock band without having any of the hang-ups of we've got to fill this with noise kind of thing.
Jan's like an amazing songwriter, so for a start the first thing he brings to the band is really, really great starts of songs that we all then work on together. And so he's a multi-instrumentalist, so he plays all the guitar, he says, hey, I've got a new guitar that I do, oh, check out this bass line. And then his drumming style is obviously incredibly key to the band because I come from a more traditional rock background where I'm foot to the floor, you know, 4/4, and Jan's doing these skippy beats and stuff, and that is always challenging and really exciting. It makes the songs different because I guess, you know, I storm away on my guitar and then Jan's doing these really intricate beats, which brings a really, really big thing for the band. And then the singing thing, I mean, that's been a revelation to all of us because we were in different bands where Jan wasn't singing and stuff, and for me and Jan have written songs and we sing stuff, and singing live, like, man, that last gig we did, your voice was epic. So yeah, you know, the whole kind of singing thing's been a real revelation. I think definitely to me. I don't know if it has been to you as well, but like you listen back to recordings, like fucking hell, man, the guy can sing. So in between some crazy intricate beats and some singing, there's a whole whirlwind of craziness going on behind me while I'm trying to play my guitar. So yeah, a lot. That's right, yeah. Thanks.
So Dan's our bassist, and I think what he brings is quite a calm presence to the room, and he's incredibly good at learning stuff very fast. So if I come up with an idea or something, and I go, Dan, you've got to play this, and you know, you learn it really fast and bring his own thing to it, which I can't really, because I'll give him something quite kind of without any embellishment, and then Dan will take it over and turn it into his own thing, which sounds more like a Dan bass line, which is exactly what we want really, because we want people to be playing their own stuff. And he's got a great voice, can harmonise really well. I think we make nice harmonies. And then I think he kind of stays quiet for a while, and then we'll just come up with a really good idea that will just kind of take the song in a new direction. Yeah. And it's really valuable like that. So yeah, I think that's what Dan brings to the band. So nice.
Checks in the post.
Yeah. It's what it is properly. Yeah, obviously Hector's our guitarist. God, it's hard to describe really. You know how when, I don't know, back in the day and you'd be out clubbing and you'd hear some sort of epic tune, you know where it kind of lifts you and like rises you up a bit, and obviously Jan and I are like driving away rhythmically and kind of keeping everything solid, and that allows kind of Hector to bring out the like the car. I don't know, it's really hard. The strings, it's like when you can lift the lifting strings. It's kind of really atmospheric, and I often have to watch myself because I can get lost listening to Hector and kind of forget what I'm doing. But yeah, sort of soaring epic sounds that really kind of icing on the cake type stuff. It's well, that's what I think Hector brings to it.
I've only got like acoustic guitars at home, so I think I'm trying to keep it that way, and I kind of come up with either two guitar parts that go together, that one could be a bass and one could be a guitar part roughly, or maybe a melody and a chord sequence, and then bring it to practice, and then kind of, I think mostly I'll actually probably show Dan more or less what he's got to play, and then Dan and I will put it together with the rhythm, and then Heck can do what he wants to a certain extent, or just play what I've kind of set. I think some parts of the songs are quite set, and then some parts will just go off. We don't do a lot of writing together as a band in the room.
We haven't got time. We just,
that's kind of practice, and people will bring ideas and we'll learn it.
And then we kind of record it, MP3 it around. Dan kind of comes in and goes, "Oh, I've got this idea. That bit, we went that bit. Let's change that. Let's go to the second chorus." And we go, "Okay, quite," and we all just crack on with it. But with our stuff, we're they're not like telling, "Oh, one day I did this, one day," they are kind of a bit sporadic, but there is a kind of a story, and I think that's really, really interesting. And it's not a story about us. It's not like, "Oh, I went to the shop," like Nelson's about like a bank robber, and it's this epic story about a bank robber, and it's like so cool. And this other song we do is about this kind of couple being stranded on a werewolf island, and the girl's left on the beach, and the guy goes off into the woods, and they're in love, and then he gets turned, and they come and have a big fight and stuff, and like they're these stories, but it's not like about us and how tough and how it worked today.
Yeah, man. Like
nobody wants to
say that.
Man, if I could play with my dream lineup of band stuff, I think the two biggest influences of me is a band called Archers of Loaf, who are amazing at them, just like they were kind of the same, nothing like us, but they were the same kind of thing. Like they were these pop songs, but were just utterly chaotic sounds going on, who I love. And another band who are my all-time favourite band and a huge influence on me is High Dependency Unit, who are a New Zealand band, and they're a three-piece, and then they can make one hell of a noise, and God, to share a stage with them would be a thing.
I think I'd like to play with Les Avifav.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't turn down the chance to play with Radiohead, I think.
Shit, okay, that's a good point. Okay.
I'm gonna look like such a loser now.
Yeah.
Because I reckon that I just definitely have to have Motley Crue playing as well. and the other one would have to be like if I could get a time machine and get like 70s Iron Maiden to
okay. I would share a stage with Maiden for sure.
Heck could love it, but I'd be sat there going, what?
I think we're very grateful to people that have come to almost every show, and there's a few that have come to lots and lots of our shows so far, and yeah, that's really good support. Very grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely.